Okay, we're looking at Shining Star A, Unit 6, Part 2. So let's look at the background. The Time Warp Trio, 2095, is a science fiction story about traveling into the future. Science fiction combines elements of fiction and fantasy with scientific fact. Most science fiction stories are set in the future. In this excerpt, so this is a small piece of a book, excerpt, the characters travel into the future to the year 2095. So as you read, make connections. Pretend that you're able to travel 100 years into the future. Copy this chart. It says in your notebook. I think it's going to be better if you put it on your homework packet. Okay, so copy this chart in your homework packet. Fill in the blanks with your predictions of how people, places, and things will look in the future. What would your home look like in the future? So we're talking 80 years from now. How about your school? How will San Diego be different? How will your family be different? Who will be dead? Who will be alive? What differences will there be? And let's look at this. Cool. This is an artist's idea of a city of the future. And look at how this space is vertical, up and down. Because of the increase in population, we'll have to use more vertical space. Interesting. Okay, let's look at our vocabulary. So what are our words? Say them with me. And yes, I know you're listening on your own at a computer, but you need to practice saying these words. So say them softly. Mechanical, mechanical. Plastic, plastic. Revolutionary, revolutionary. Stories, stories. Streamlined, streamlined. Transported, transported. The mechanical sidewalk moves people quickly from place to place. Read it with me. The mechanical sidewalk moves people quickly from place to place. Her plastic raincoat kept her dry in the rain. With me. Her plastic raincoat kept her dry in the rain. The new invention was revolutionary. It changed the way that people lived. With me. The new invention was revolutionary. It changed the way that people lived. The tall buildings had 200 stories. We couldn't see the top. Again, the tall buildings had 200 stories. We couldn't see the top. Cars of the future will be smaller, faster, and more streamlined than cars of the past. Again, cars of the future will be smaller, faster, and more streamlined than cars of the past. They pressed the numbers and were transported 100 years into the future. Again, they pressed the numbers and were transported 100 years into the future. Now you need to use a dictionary or an online dictionary. What does the word mean? And how do you say it in your language? Just as I've asked you to do for the other 5 units, you need to write these down. Okay, you could write them in your notebook as long as you show me, but it's probably easier for you to find space in your homework packet, like the vocabulary practice page where you have the crossword puzzle and all that. That might be a good place to do this. What does the word mean in English? And translate. What's the word in your language? Okay, reading for enjoyment. So it's always good to know why you're reading. This is a piece of science fiction. It's written for entertainment. Okay, sometimes you read for information. Other times you read just for fun or entertainment. When your purpose for reading is to enjoy, you want to be entertained by the characters, the setting, and the pictures that go with the text. People often read novels to be entertained. Think about how the words and pictures in this excerpt make you want to read more. Okay. So here we have the Time Warp Trio 2095. So a focus question, read this science fiction excerpt for your enjoyment. Are the characters, the setting, and the story entertaining? Why or why not? Okay, so after you watch this lesson, I want you to go ahead and read along. Okay, follow with your finger and track in your book as you listen to the audio on Schoology. So this is a pretty crazy picture. People are green, and are they flying? My goodness, interesting. Okay, so before you read, there's a little summary piece here, because this is an excerpt. It's taken from a full book. So this is explaining what's going on. Okay, as we look down here, literary element, dialogue. Say it, dialogue. This is dialogue. This is dialogue. This is dialogue. Dialogue is what characters say to each other. The words in quotation marks show the exact words of the characters. That's called dialogue. Okay, and you have questions. Are you writing down the answers to these questions? Hopefully you are. I'm going to ask that you write the answers down on your homework packet. If you write them in your journal, you have to make sure you show me, or you'll miss points for that. Where are the boys transported? What is New York like in the future? So those are the two questions you're going to answer. And then there's a how about you question, which are interesting. Imagine you could travel to any time period. Which time period would you choose? Why? Would you go forward in time or backward in time? Where in time would you go? Here we are in 2016. Would you go this way in time or this way in time? And why? Okay, so again, remembering that you are responsible for the vocabulary words, writing them down, and answering the before you go on questions on your homework packet. Okay, so please now get your listening self ready. You're going to be listening with headphones, hopefully your own headphones that you brought, to Time Warp Trio as you follow along, tracking with your finger, and you're prepared to write your answers on your homework packet. Thank you.